Hello and welcome back, my beautiful people. Some of you looking for a job as a developer, and therefore you need to apply for a job and you will have a job interview. So, in this series, I will cover the most important job interview questions some companies out there had in real job interviews. And maybe if you are a student currently, these questions are also often asked in assignments. So, let's keep going. In this video, we will cover one of the most important algorithms, in my opinion, the Fibonacci sequence. It's often asked. And firstly, what is the Fibonacci sequence? Fibonacci sequence starts with 0 and 1. And these are two initial numbers. And every time we go further, the next number is the result of an addition of the previous two numbers. Like now, we have 0 plus 1 equals 1. Then the next number is the previous two numbers together. 1 plus 1 is 2. Then we have 1 plus 2 is 3. And 2 plus 3 is 5. Not a 4. Not like this. Like this. And we have 3 plus 5 is 8. 5 plus 8 is 13. And so on and so on. So let's firstly have a look at an input. We need a user input, which will say us the number of iterations or numbers of Fibonacci sequence parts it should print it out. Like if we have the number 5, it should give us the 0, 1, 1, 2, and 3, like 5 numbers of the Fibonacci sequence. Then we make the variable user input is equal to input how many values do you want to have? Question mark, of course. And as we are calculating with this, we need to pass this to an integer. Exactly like this. Then we make a function def, call it fib, Fibonacci sequence, and there we use our user input, like how often it should get used. Now, as we had a look, the first two numbers are always 0 and 1. Doesn't matter how many, like it doesn't matter, we could write it strict and print it out, but the 0 and 1 have no logic in there. Like the 0 isn't a product from something before and the 1 as well not. So we can have the number 1, the first number always underscore 1 is equal to 0 and number 2 is equal to 1. We can set this already. Make in here a spacing, so we get rid of this. And let's call it n, because otherwise we will have a shadow name. So if the user now puts in an adjective number, there should nothing happen. So if the n is less than 0, print not a valid number, please try again. Like this. Not a valid number, please try again. So if we have now a 1 in here, it should simply print us the first number. So if n equals to 1, and of course we make a elif because we also already have an if over there, we print simply the a. And everything else, we first, oh, maybe not an a, it's the number 1. I'm an idiot. And everything else, we need to print the first two numbers, like print number 1, and then print number 2. I'm recording, everything is fine, beautiful. And print number 2. Like we always get the 0, 1 back if we have something higher. Like if we have 3 numbers, we need the 0, 1 in the beginning. Because they have no logic, we need to hard code them in there. And now we can simply have a look at our sequence. And here we put in the user input to get straight an input. And in here we put in a, let's have a -1. Not a valid number, please try again. That's beautiful. Let's check everything. If we have a 1, it should simply give us the 0. That's good. And if we have everything above, it should now give us 0, 1. Test it with a 7, for example. Yeah, 0, 1. And now we need to get the other sequence. How we need the other sequence? As we have a look back at it, wait, I have the sequence copied over here. Let's copy it and put it in as a comment over here. Now put it in over here. We see we need, every time we print out a new number, we need the previous two numbers. So we need to store the previous two numbers and calculate the sum of it. So, and this should be a for loop. As we have the first two numbers already in there, we start with I in range from 2 to n. Like the n is not included, but we already start at 2. So yeah, exact the amount we want to have. And now we need the result, which is equal to the previous two numbers sum up, like this. And now we need to make sure in the next iteration, one number must be the result and another number must be the previous number. Like we now can do number 1 is equal to number 2 and number 2 is equal to the result. So we shift each with each iteration. And now if we go out done with the loop, we can simply we print every time the result because it will go up by every time. Let's have a look what's happening. And if we put in, like, how many are there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Get we the same back? And we get the same back. Easy as that, the Fibonacci sequence, my boys. Hope you liked the video. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more. Maybe let me know in the comments if you already had a job interview or some assignments with some Python algorithms like that, which you could already solve or didn't solve yet. Let me know in the comments. I will make a video for it and share the value with you. Thank you.